We understand it has been a very tough year. You guys had to extend hours to actually make Kenyans return their files by yesterday. What were the numbers and how was the year for you?
Well, first, thank you, Kenyans, for turning up and filing in big numbers. This year, by midnight, we had 4.4 million people who had filed, which is a 25% increase from the numbers we had last year when we had 3.6 million.
Okay, well, you say that the numbers have actually increased by 25% from last year. But again, we see there have been Corona, the pandemic has been very tough. It's really hitting Kenyans very tough. What did KRA do in terms of helping Kenyans to file their returns during this pandemic?
Well, the first thing that what we did this year was we did a lot of online publicity. We were doing Facebook live shows every Friday on how to file the returns. And also, I think COVID made the elderly to be together with the youth. And also, it made the use of internet to be something common in very many homes. And so we have seen very many people now file from the comfort of their homes. And also we ensured that our support centers were open to assist anybody who had issues to do with filing.
Yesterday I was in the streets and I was trying to ask some few Kenyans, and they were complaining about the internet and saying that it was a bit slower now that everyone flooded the iTax site yesterday. Are we going to see an extension of this?
Well, no, yesterday the system was good. I think one of the things we have done, we have actually ensured that our system is effective and efficient enough. And for the last 4 years, we have actually not extended the due date for filing. It has actually been 30th June. This is because we have from 1st to 30th, from 1st of January to 30th of June for someone to file. So even someone cannot say that the complaint is there was COVID. Yeah, because despite there being COVID, internet is in our homes.
Okay. What about the penalties for those who didn't file in terms of individuals and for companies?
For someone who does not file on time, there is a late filing penalty, and the late filing penalty for individuals is Kenya shillings 2,000, or 5% of the tax due, whichever is higher. And for non-individuals is Kenya shillings 20,000, or 5% of the tax due, whichever is higher.
Do married couples file returns jointly or they do it separately?
Well, do married couples file separately or do they file together? Now, the law allows a husband to file for the wife, but the wife cannot file for the husband. So, the law also goes ahead to say that a wife can file separately if it is employment income, if it is business income, as well as if it is professional income. So, if you look at the income tax returns, they talk about self and wife. So, it basically means if a husband is filing and he wishes to file for the wife, it is okay. It also means if the wife wants to file theirs independently, it is in order. Yes.
And what about if someone pays excess tax? How is that remitted?
Now, if you have paid an excess tax, like in the year 2019, and now one filed the income tax returns, and there's the aspect of it's in credit possession, then the next step to do is to apply for the refund. How do we apply? We log into iTax with our PIN and password, and then we go to the tax refunds. We select the obligation, which is income tax, and then now once we select and we say the year, we just submit. And then now we await the taxman to process the refund, which is done within 3 months. But I have also to let our taxpayers know that we refund as per the money that we receive from Treasury. So, and we give priority to what we have prior years and what we have already processed. So once you apply for your refund, we'll process it. If there is any more document we need from you, we will ask for it from you via email. And then after that, once we get the money to refund you, will be able to give you back your tax refunds.
Okay, well, when you look in Kenya, we have so many young people above the age of 18, and most of them do not have the KRA PIN. So, do we have penalties for don't not having the KRA PIN when you're above 18 years of age?
In Kenya, we know that someone gets an ID when they attain the age of 18 years, but you get a PIN number when you need it. So there is no penalty for failing to get a PIN. But you notice the Tax Procedures Act goes ahead and gives a list of transactions that you are required to get a PIN for you to handle them. So there are some places you will go and they will not serve you without a PIN number.
Well, you are the assistant manager at the tax-based expansion, and which was formed in 2018, and the aim was actually to bring on board taxpayers who are not registered, and actually the idea was to increase to yield more revenue up to around 60 billion. How is that doing? Are you guys making good progress, or what are the numbers?
We are doing quite well. We're actually doing well. And more so, we still have strategies in place because we want 2021. We want to get even higher yields than what we have got now. We have actually embarked on a lot of data-driven recruitments and data-driven compliance. And more so, in the last year, we were doing block management strategy of recruitment. And I know many people would attest to it, that we actually visited their premises. And it's still a strategy that we will still use after COVID is over. But the data-driven recruitment is one of the key strategies that is yielding a lot.
Okay, maybe just one last question. Maybe what would you want to tell Kenyans, maybe who are evading tax, because you've had a lot of cases and even companies trying to evade paying of tax?
Wow, the first thing maybe I would like to tell Kenyans is thank you for turning up in big numbers and filing your returns on time. 4.4 million, that is good. And I know in the coming year, the number will actually go higher, even with more than 1 million. Now, the other angle we are talking about is on tax evasion. What I would like to tell Kenyans is there is nowhere we can hide. So let us get out. Let us register for the tax obligations that we need to register with, and let us pay the taxes that we are supposed to pay.